Hey, Scott.
Hey, Steve.
We had the pleasure last year of going to a legacy brewery, one that's been known for great beers for a long time, and that would be Hoppin Frog in Akron, Ohio.
Yep, we visited them in May of 2025.
We did, and then we got them on our podcast.
We did. And those episodes released, I was just looking today, August 14th and August 21st of 2025. So almost within a week of it being a year.
Well, one of the guests, it just happened to be the man himself, the founder, Fred Karm, who was on that podcast episode. He is retiring from 20 years of running Hoppin Frog, and we want to congratulate him on a happy retirement.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Fred, on 20 years, and congratulations on retirement. I know Zachary is taking over, and the brewery's going to be in great hands.
We want to congratulate Fred, and you know what? In honor of this, we are going to replay the episode that we had with the folks at Hoppin Frog. We're going to hear all about Fred's story once again, how way back in the day he started selling beer out of his car. But you got to listen to this podcast episode if you haven't yet. But again, congratulations on retirement.
Yeah, congratulations, Fred. Yes, these were episodes 85 and 86 for us. What we did on this following episode you're about to hear is combine the two parts together into one episode. So you've got one continuous full episode. And we just want to do it to congratulate Fred.
We'll raise our glass to Fred. Cheers.
Cheers, Fred. Happy retirement.
Down in the depths of this brewery scene, for Zachary and John, you know what I mean. Hoppin' Frogs brewing, the flavors arise on the podcast underground where the passion rise. Hops in our hands and stories to share. Raise our glasses high, get toast to the air. Tales of the craft and fog in the fight. In every pour we find a light. Hoppin' Frogs stands firm. In the podcast underground alive.
I got some mood music going on. It's stuff I used to play when I would brew by myself at like 5 or 6 a.m. I'd come into a formal brewery where I worked, and I'd fire up the smooth jazz. So I'm listening to Down to the Bone right now. Great beginning of the day kind of music. And then by the end of the day, back then I'd be listening to Metallica or something like that.
You had to set the tone for the day, right? And then you just work up into Metallica.
Right. That's how it was.
Yes.
That's how it was when I used to brew by myself at the one brewery that we were brewing at. And then there was another brewery where I had an assistant and we would play more normal music.
Well, awesome. Well, we are happy to kick off the Brewery Underground podcast. And we've been so excited, Scott and I have been, about this episode coming out, because we stopped at Hoppin Frog in Akron in mid-May. And tonight, Scott, we have an all-star lineup from Hoppin Frog. You want to do the introductions for us, my friend?
Yes. So we've got Fred Karm, owner. Brewmaster still in the title?
Yes.
All right. We've got Zach Bastin, director. Did I get that right?
Yes, Zachary.
And Zachary, and John Humphrey, beer ambassador. Welcome, guys.
Hey, thanks for having us. That's
yeah,
great.
It's going to be fun. Yeah, we had a great visit. We didn't get to stay long enough because we're on our way to Cleveland, but we made sure we stopped at your brewery on the way up.
Well, thanks. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely talk about that. And I know right before we hit the record button, I know you had said, Fred, we got to start with a beer. And I know you got a beer. Show us what you're drinking tonight.
So I busted this out first. This is our Hot Shots Zesty Pickle Beer, which is tasty. We made this just for the Hot Shots people. It's available at the brewery too. This is something that isn't really distributed at all. This is a real special beer that we do just locally, and it's a lot of fun. It incorporates a lot of dill pickle flavor and a little bit of spice. And it's light and easy drinking, so super fun. Great one to start the night with.
Nice, yeah.
Cheers to that.
John, how about you? What are you drinking tonight?
All right. Well, I'm going for, and some say it's early. I don't care. I love this beer. I'll drink this beer Christmas time, summertime, spring. If I have it, I'm drinking it. This is our Frog's Hollow Double Pumpkin Ale. It's a gold medal winner at the Great American Beer Festival. But So I started first 6 years I worked there. I started in the brewery, and I loved making this beer because we would mix all the spices together to put in the kettle, and just the whole brewery would have this bouquet of spices, and it just filled the air. And I've always loved that, so it's always stuck with me, that beer.
Is that tend to be a seasonal beer, or do you guys just to release it kind of whenever?
No, it's definitely a seasonal beer for the market, but I'll drink it whenever. I love pumpkin beer. It doesn't matter to me. If I like something, I'm going to drink it.
That's all right. Why be deterred?
And I had that pumpkin beer. I'm looking on my Untapped app right now. I had it November of last year. I picked it up in a can here in Nashville.
Nice.
Yeah, really liked it. So, yeah, really good beer.
All right.
Maybe we should do Halloween in March or Halloween in April.
Yeah. Yeah, everything's all right. The seasons to beer ratio is completely backwards at this point. But I'm kind of like John at this point. If it's here, like Fest beers now are out, I'm like, just embrace it. Let's go.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Zachary, what have you got?
I was going to start a little more simple, but it is still delicious. Is one of our newer ones actually is our Hoppin Pilsner. We're not necessarily known for low alcohol beers, but I got to tell you what, having a tap room and needing a place where someone can come and have more than 2 or 3, the Hoppin Pilsner comes in right now for just under 5%, and it's super crisp and refreshing. A great way to start is what I'm feeling.
That's great. And in this heat that we've had, we were just talking about. Look at that. That's beautiful. Yes. And this we've had those beers are welcome.
And Zachary,
Yes.
I actually influenced Scott to get that on our trip when we went to Hoppin Frog, because I had gotten that one on a flight, and I'm drinking it, and I said, man, this is a really, really good Pilsner, and I really enjoyed it. It stood out even more from some of the other Pilsners I've had maybe in recent time. And so Scott says, I got to get that one too. So it's always good to influence people, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, it was like I didn't get it on my flight. I had 4 others, and then Steve said how good it was, and I'm like, well, we're not leaving until I have it. It was like, we're getting it. I don't care how long it takes to drink it. We're having it.
Oh, that makes me feel so good, because that wasn't at all our bailiwick, but we can make a damn good Pilsner. Think about it a little bit.
Yeah, that's all right. Steve, what have you got?
Well, guys, we're about to kick off, and I know we're in the early stages, I guess, of Oktoberfest season. And I found this in can here in Nashville. It is the Hoppin Frog Oktoberfest.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I am a Oktoberfest guy. I would love trying almost any variation of an Oktoberfest beer, and this is the first one. In fact, I had it the other night and it was really good, but this is the first Oktoberfest beer that I've had from you guys, and so great to kick off the season for it.
Heck yeah. I can tell you something special about that. It's 100% German ingredients, which is pretty special.
Yes.
I'm fond of saying the only thing we couldn't bring in was the water. We'll have to work on that.
That would be a little more difficult.
German, and it has a cool flavor because of that traditional flavor. You know, that malt that they have over there is different.
Story about that beer that Steve's drinking right now. A couple years ago, a group of our friends got together and we did a blind tasting on nothing but Oktoberfest beers. And we had 18 different beers, so everybody just brought different things. And I'm not kidding. That beer won in a blind test, multiple rounds. That beer won out.
Wow.
Ours?
Yes.
I believe it.
Yep.
Wow, that's awesome.
It did.
That's
and
great.
I'll tell you, and there were some other German beers in there, and I have them on my list here. Oh, like Eyinger, Gorsteiner was in there.
Really?
Yes.
It's like my absolute favorite. I just love Angers.
Yep. They were the Hacker Shore, Shiner, Polliner, and even Sam Adams was in that blind tasting. So to win in a blind is even better, I think, because you don't know what you're getting.
Wow.
To be fair, we probably charge more for ours than most of the other people because, you know, we don't skimp on any ingredients. So that's wonderful that we could actually win that blind tasting. It makes me feel good. It's kind of it's justifying for what we do because we use more ingredients than most people. You end up getting more flavor than most people, but also more cost. And I love them, so we don't stop. But yeah, there's sometimes when we wish we could be more cost effective. But when you win contests, when you beat 18 other Oktoberfest, that's pretty amazing.
Right.
Including Eyinger. Oh my God.
Yep.
I mean, it's like the leading one from Germany in my book.
Yep. And like I said, multiple rounds, so it wasn't a fluke.
Wow.
You ran the gauntlet and you won.
God,
Wow.
Thank you, man. It makes me feel good. You made my
Yeah.
night.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Thanks
Yeah.
for sharing. That's great.
We were going to talk about Oktoberfest, beer at some point during this podcast. Since we're doing it now, it kind of evokes some other questions. We talk about this all the time. What do you guys think about Oktoberfest season? This seems like it starts earlier and earlier every year. I mean, are you in on it? Or it's driven by the marketplace? I would love to know what you guys' thoughts on it are.
Well, it's definitely driven by the marketplace.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, everybody wants to get out there first. I think that's where that all started. So distributors are wanting to get it so they can get on the store shelves first before the other guys do. And so now it's just kind of expected. I mean, I think the benefit the consumer gets maybe a little bit longer period of that product. But some of them get a little upset too when they see it on the shelf and it's July.
Yeah. There's always something to be said. We always say something about it. Meanwhile, I go get it.
Right. Exactly.
So it's kind of nice to have it come out like a month earlier than you'd expect, and then you have an opportunity to buy it a second time. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I guess the downside of that is if it goes away too quickly and it's still the middle of even October, if it lasts that long, that's kind of the downside of it. But I'm not going to sit there and let it sit on the shelf. I'm going to get it. I'm going to drink it.
Yeah, I mean, as a brewery that does a lot of different styles of beer, do you feel like the style of Oktoberfest, there's a lot of people that are coming in, and this time of the year they are expecting it, and if they're not seeing it, they're walking away disappointed. So it's consumer demand, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely got to have it.
I credit Sam Adams ultimately.
There you go.
They were the ones that always seem to have it out first.
They paved the way for us. I have great respect for people like them, and the close local one that did that for us is Great Lakes. They've been around for, I think, 35 years. Got to throw them respect every time I can, man, because they paved the way for us. They were charging more than, anyone had ever charged for beer before. It was really awesome and tons of flavor, and we took it to the next level.
When do you guys, because, like I said, I obviously saw this in a beer store. In fact, I was just south of me. I live south of Nashville. And I went on a beer and liquor store about a week ago, and I was on their Facebook page. I'm like, you have any Hoppin Frog down there? And like, we absolutely do. And I walked in, and they had several different variations. But when I saw that Oktoberfest, I said, this is going to be perfect for the podcast.
You made a beeline right for it.
I had to. When do you start sending out cans of Oktoberfest during the year?
That'd be a Zachary question probably, right?
That's in July.
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
Yeah.
It's hard to believe.
Yes,
Well,
we have our
it's just because when you think about the timeline, from when it gets picked up from us and then gets to the distributor and then the time they get it to the stores and then until it gets on the shelves, I mean, there is a little bit of a time frame in which all that needs to happen. So that ensures, an August shelf date, but some are a little faster than others. So yeah.
Do you have to start brewing that in March, or can you wait a little later for that, or do you go ahead and get it out of the way as early as possible?
No, we do it a little. I do. It's funny. I knew you were probably going to ask when do we start brewing that. And off the top of my head, I don't remember. I feel it's a little later than March, though. I do know that.
Yeah, you don't have to store them in the lagering tunnels anymore, right? We've got technology now where we don't have to do that.
Right. No tunnels involved.
Right.
Yeah.
300 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
And I know there's so many breweries out there. They do a lot of different special Oktoberfest events, maybe once a year. Do you guys do anything like that, or is it just more, hey, here it is in our tap room, and enjoy the Oktoberfest during the season?
That's what we don't do an event around. We
Yeah,
probably should.
it's more of
it's
just
been a
enjoy it
long
for the whole
time.
season.
Yep.
Yeah. It's been a long time. We do other large events around other beers that have kind of developed a cult following around the brewery and then beyond. But Oktoberfest, I think it was a long time ago. We had like a German band, like a polka band come in and all that. We did it like 1 or 2 years, and it was fine. A certain group of people had fun, but yeah, we've moved on to some other crazy parties that we have throughout the year.
Well, there's already a lot of German type festivals around here too, which I think is, heck, we all go to them. So it's like, at that point, it's like, hey, here, just come and enjoy our beer, enjoy the food, and at your leisure, don't feel like you got to come on a certain day to be able to have fun. As we like to say, it's a festival at the brewery every day.
Yeah.
So let's just celebrate every day.
Yep, we're throwing a beer fest every day.
Yep.
Well, my check-in tonight of Oktoberfest certainly has hogged some conversation, but we haven't found out yet what Scott is drinking, so we've got to ask him now.
I was waiting for an opportunity, and I found these
I'm
today.
looking at that can going, what is that?
Plum. Where's my camera?
I can't see.
Oh, man.
Plum Tucker.
Wow.
Oh,
Double porter.
Yeah.
15.8%. And what's great, and maybe it's the only way it's served, it's in like an 8.5 ounce can.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, look at
Thank
this.
you.
It's a tiny little thing. It's awesome.
Perfect. It's a personal serving, even though it's, 16
And for that
point-
ABV, you don't need 16 ounces necessarily. Although I did get Chorus
that
the
looks like-
Quasher.
That's barrel aged.
You've got a rare can there. That's a
Really?
great beer. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
We don't make the barrel aged version of that every year.
That's
Wow.
a golden
So that-
ticket.
I'm
Yeah,
going back
right
to get
there.
the rest of them.
I
now.
love it. It's like Willy Wonka there.
That's
Uh-huh.
right.
Well, I love them because they're all these smaller cans, and then I got a Taurus, the Tyrant. I got that one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you know
Another
what?
small can.
Here's another one not to jump too far, but to add to your collection and keep an eye out for. But
Oh yeah.
No way.
sextuple, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that a triple?
No.
Okay.
It's not a triple. It's not a quad.
Oh,
not a
quintuple.
It's a
hence the-
sextuple.
Duh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
well,
imagine a super
That's right.
quad. A
Yeah.
super quad.
I mean, it's 16.4%.
Okay.
Light, easy drinking. But again,
Yeah,
another one of
yeah.
these nice single serving cans.
I love
These have
them.
been popular.
So I
So
don't know
this-
if you guys been keeping up with the frog, but we actually coined the pentuple. We got to a point where we won a bronze medal with it at the GABF, followed by a gold medal. So we can confidently say that we've made a great example of what would be considered a Belgian beer, but they haven't made it yet because they've made up to the quadruple. Well, we made a pentuple, and we've won some of the best medals now. So we're super excited about that. Our head brewer Lee was the one that suggested, "Hey, I think it's time for sextuple." I said, "Oh, no way. You kidding me?" And then I looked, I'm like, man, it's been like 6 or 7 years since we released the pentuple. Let's do it, man.
Yeah.
They're patterned just like the Belgians do. So every odd numbered one is going to be a lighter, more hop forward one. This being sextuple, it's rich and thick and delicious.
Are
those-
there's obviously a lot of competition out there to win these awards with other breweries. I mean, what does this mean for you guys? I mean, you've been at it since about 2006. What does it mean for you in this age, to keep winning awards?
It means the world because it's such competition now. It's harder and harder to prove yourself. You can point to the medals you had before, but it's only about the ones you won recently, which kind of bums me out because I haven't entered the last couple of years, but we haven't entered the last couple of years. But as it turns out, the GABF is changing, so I don't know if as many people are entering anymore. Things are changing. We'll have to prove ourselves differently now. What was your question?
Are you going to
no.
GABF this year? No.
No.
You just try to go every few years or just when the mood strikes you?
We don't have a plan. We decided not to do it last year or this year. We're focusing on other growth aspects of the business.
Okay.
Nice way to put it. Nice way to spin it.
There you go.
Well, you guys just celebrated 19 years in business. Do I have that right? 19. You just had a
Let me think. 19's coming up September 1st.
September 1st.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so we're
Almost
coming up
there.
on it. I know when we were at the brewery, they were saying it was coming up, and I figured maybe it had happened. Or so you're just weeks away from 19 years.
Yes.
How are you guys going to celebrate that?
We don't have a massive celebration. I guess that'd be the 20th year, but the 19th, we should do something, huh? I mean, we always do things like food specials. We'll break out tons of different beers. We'll probably do like 6 vintage beers that we'll get out. We'll tap 3 at the beginning of the week, 3 towards the end of the week, and we'll make it some of the best ones that we have. I mean, we have such a stash now. After being open for 19 years, man, you look at the list, it's like you start salivating, like, oh my gosh. Yeah, what are we going to tap up? So it's really fun to be us when it comes to anniversary weeks and stuff like that.
Can you do a 19 tuple? Is that a thing? I don't know. What's the thing for 19? I don't know.
Yeah, right.
And what do you get someone for your 19th anniversary? It's
Yeah, right. Is that a diamond? No. Wait a
yeah. I
minute.
don't know what that is. Beer. Let's go with beer.
Beer.
Right.
Fred,
I
what
feel
did
that.
things look like? I mean, when you go all the way back now to 2006, when you opened, what did things look like back then for your brewery?
You could almost do no wrong. You'd put product out there and, unless it was shitty, people loved it. Lucky for us, we don't have any of those problems. As I asked distributors, they would oftentimes say yes. Now they laugh in your face. Yeah, it's really hard to get distributorships now, whereas before they were interested. It was cool. It was so different back then. I like to tell people when I got my license in Ohio, I was number 40. Now there's 440, or there were at the beginning of the year. There's probably more now. So it's really changed quite a bit.
Fred, when you emailed us last, you said that these guys had been with you at least 10 years or over 10 years, each of them. That's got to be a testament to the work environment, your coworkers, what you guys are doing. Can you guys talk to that for being there for 10 years and kind of what that means to you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can go first. Yeah, it's been, I mean, obviously we're, when we started, brewery was, 4 or 5 years old, kind of starting to grow. And Fred had been doing a lot of it himself and was, brought us on board and always took great care of us, and was a great teacher, great motivator, learned a lot. We had a lot of fun. We worked hard though too. It's not like home brewing. I guess I should say that now, the disclaimer. It's not like home brewing where you come in, you set up, you start get things going, and then you just drink all day.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you do knock out and you go home. And you leave a mess in your kitchen or garage or wherever you're doing it. It's
That's
not
right.
quite like that. So there's a little adjustment there. No. But yeah, no, and it's just it's been awesome to be part of it. And like I said, I mean, when we started out, there was only a handful of us. We had lunch together every single day. Fred treated us. Heck, as silly as it sounds, our brewery has air conditioning, so you're not, in the summer, you're not like, sweating so bad you don't want to go in. We looked forward to going to work every day because we got to do what we enjoyed to do, which was make great beer. And then when you see, when you're out and about and you see something that you were part of at a bar, or you hear someone talking about it that doesn't know who you are, I mean, it just makes it that much better. So it's been awesome. It's been great. Obviously, there's been lots of ups and downs in the industry, heck, in the world in general. And Fred's been more than accommodating and helpful in all our various situations. And I can't say thanks enough for the opportunities that have been presented to myself. And I don't want to speak for John, but I think in general, that's how the majority of our team that's been around. I mean, we've been here 14 plus years, and we've got another round of folks that we kind of had hired in, probably 10 years or so ago. And we're like a family, we've had the same, we've had a few people come and go as life does, for various reasons, but most of them we stay in touch and communicate with and see them out and things like that. So
Yeah.
Like I said, it's like been a big family we've built, and Fred's been the leader of it all.
That's nice to hear you feel that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
John, what about you?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how I got started and why I never left. So when I was going to college, I went to college when I was older, right? So I didn't even start till I was 25. And there was this place across the street from where I lived in Akron, because I went to the University of Akron, much like Fred and Zachary. There was a store called the West Point Market, and they had Hoppin Frog beer in these 22-ounce bottles. And I was like, what is this? And back then, this is 2009, 2010, somewhere in there. I'm like, what is this? Barrel-aged Boris, the Crusher. Okay, I'll give it a try, And I'm like, I love this stuff. So around that time, around 2010, I started dating my wife, who had already knew about Hoppin Frog because of she loved the raspberry beer that Fred made a long time ago. And we don't make it anymore, but she got me into Hoppin Frog. And I graduated college. I was about to go to grad school. She's like, why don't you go and see if they need help? Like, you know what? You're right. I mean, because I'm always having people over. I'm always doing beer dinners at my house, bringing in new beers for people to try. I fell in love with the beer industry back then because it was exploding with flavor, right? I grew up watching my dad drink, Old Milwaukee's Best. And then, you transition to all of these stouts and then Hoppin Frog doing barrel-aged beers. And I was like, dang, this is really cool. So I went in and nobody was there except for, I believe her name was Brenda, who was there from the beginning, has helped Fred out. I bought some beers from the cooler, the one cooler they had, came back another day, and I met Fred's dad because Fred was running around busy. They were bottling and doing a bunch of stuff. And so I talked to Fred's dad for about 20 minutes, left. Then he called me on the phone, hey, why don't you come back for an interview? And I never looked back. I didn't know a lot about the mechanics of brewing, but if anyone ever asks me, if you're willing to go into a place and just do whatever they say, sweep the floor, take this over there, do this, do that, if you just listen to people and get every opportunity you can to help somebody, eventually they'll teach you things. And eventually our head brewer, Lee, was like, yeah, I guess I could work with him. Because if you ever met Lee, that's a compliment. That's a compliment, all right? He's not going to go pat you on the back and say, hey, you're doing a great job. He's like, yeah, I don't mind him. So great guy. He'll bend over backwards for you, but that's kind of how Lee is. And I just fell in love with it. I never left. And I don't want to restate everything Zachary said, but it feels like a family. We take care of each other. We have a common goal, and we love what we do. So when that happens, whether it's the good is great and the bad isn't so bad, right? Because you're all there working together to make it happen.
It's such a unique goal we have. I like to describe it as ultimately we're selling fun.
Right.
Because all this is fun. You know, you drink these crazy beers. Oh, what are you drinking? Oh, I'm drinking this Repeat 3X we made with Pete from Pete's Wicked Ale. Look at that. Is that fun or what?
It is fun.
Yes.
We're selling fun. Just selling fun.
Yeah.
I think the thing that stood out when we came in mid-May and we stopped in there, and we were there for like an hour and a half because we weren't going up to Cleveland, and we did go to Great Lakes. You mentioned them earlier. We had a great time there too, and I love the variation of beer on your tap list. I mean, it was tremendous. I mean, I know I'm looking at my flight that I had, and I got, the Gangster Frog IPA, the Hoppin Pilsner, the Kickin' Blackberry Turbo Shandies Citrus Ale, which I really loved, and also the Smashing Honey Blonde. And so everything I got, I mean, I was like, I'm going for a variation here today, and every single one of them, were really fantastic. And the thing I'm curious about, when you first started, Fred, how many beers did you start out with?
I think it was 4. And one of them was made as a blend from 2 of the ones that we were making, the IPA and the Stout. Blended them together and made a black and tan. So when we opened the doors, we had 4 beers.
Did you have a goal set in your mind? Did you have a goal where in a year from now I want to double the amount of beer that I'm doing, or 5 years from now? What was your goal for that, or did you have one?
My goal was to make sure that I didn't lose my house, which I had put on the line. That was my ultimate goal.
Yeah.
So everything's centered around that. Trying to make sure I had enough income. I put beer in my trunk and I was delivering it everywhere. I was calling everyone, doing everything I could to make sure I had enough income. That was the goal.
Did the Shandies and Rattlers come later, or was that part of your vision too when you first started? Because they're a big part of your business, right?
In 2009, we had a couple events at our place, and at those events, we had a light, easy drinking beer base that I used for a fruit beer. And where did it start? Might have been me, but we decided to stir in Country Time lemonade into that for the party, and everyone liked it so much they're like, well, you got to sell this. I'm like, well, I can't sell that exactly, but I bet you I can develop that by looking at the ingredients on the list and saying, well, the biggest one's right there, it's the first one. I mean, I got to start with that and put a bunch in this beer and see how much else other things I need. That's where I started. I was able to reverse engineer Country Time lemonade by looking at the first 5 ingredients. That's how I built the flavors in the shandy.
It seems like it's such a big deal for you guys, the shandy. That turbo shandy, is that a baseline for a lot of the other ones too? Is that turbo the one that's kind of the baseline for all the others, or a lot of the others?
Yeah. It's a baseline for about 15 beers we do right now, including some that even don't say shandy on them. They just, supersede shandy. They're better than shandy in a way, like the pineapple upside down cake. Not a lot of people know that, but that's the shandy base.
Okay.
But when you taste that, you're like, gee, it tastes like the pineapple.
I've had that
down.
one. Yes. It's really good. Yes. Yeah. I had the recently, as a matter of fact, somebody shipped it to us, the peanut butter and jelly. There you go. Yeah. Zachary's got it. Zachary's got a whole cooler and stuff right there.
I keep prepared.
We'll talk about the beer and Zachary just pulled it up. Yeah, I got one right here.
Yeah, you were talking about that. Scott and I both had the peanut butter and jelly turbo shandy. I'm very fascinated because we were just at a brewery last night that had a PB&J beer, and there's a lot of different breweries now that are all catching on to that. Do you think this is a phase, or do you think it's here to stay with the PB&J type collaboration beers?
I think those type of beer ideas are here to stay, but is there like a trend where there'll be a PBJ for a while and then it'll go away? I don't know. I'll bet you people will always be making that. It's like some of these traditional flavors that people make. That seems traditional to me. What do you guys think?
I think it's fascinating. I think it's fascinating because it seems like it just caught on maybe in like the last 2 years or so, at least in this area that I've kind of noticed.
People are learning how to make these flavors that they really love from their childhood in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really know. I mean, there's There's peanut butter beers out there that seem to stick and some that don't. And I think it could be very likely that you'll have peanut butter and jelly beers around for a while, but only the good ones will stick around, right? Because if you get something that, and I'm sure you guys have experienced it, if it tastes like a novelty item, you do it once and you'll never do it again. You're like, okay, I did it. I'm done. I barely got through it. But if it tastes good, you'll come back to it. And I don't think they're going to dominate the market, but I think that there's a place for them. And if they're done right, I think people enjoy that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah. And when they taste exactly like they say, that's a big thing. Like in this area, and you guys may have heard of them, is Zool, XUL out of Knoxville. They do that PB and J, the mixtape PB and J.
Yes. I haven't had it, but I've heard of it. Yes.
That set the world, at least set this area on fire with the PB and J's. And Southern Grist was doing one, and now everybody's got one, and they just seem to be at least in this area, kind of the leader in that. And that, now they've done peach and blueberry and grape and strawberry, and there are variations of it. And I think you're right. Because they're so good, I think they'll be around for a while.
And I've said this to Scott a few times, or not often, but every once in a while, maybe it's, everything is subjective when it comes to beer. You go and you get one, you're thinking, maybe this is just flight worthy for me. Maybe it's a little bit too sweet, a little overpowering,
sure.
And maybe I just rather have it on a flight rather than a 16-ounce can. And I don't think that's a bad thing, because I think that enhances your experience and maybe want more in the future. You know exactly what you want. And I've said this before, with some beers, it's kind of like going into a restaurant and ordering a dessert, and you're going, yeah, I got that molten lava cake that I'm going to order for dessert, but after I get about half of it done, I'm like, all right, that's enough for me for tonight.
Yeah, everything from like cinnamon roll to, like you said, chocolate cake or brownies or anything. It's all good stuff, but sometimes it can be rich.
Right.
Sure.
And that goes back to those little cans that you've got.
Yes.
There, right.
Yes.
If you give it to people in the proper portion size, then they're not overwhelmed by it.
Yes, that's right. And don't get drunk after they finish, or not completely drunk when they finish the 16-ounce can.
Like this little one, this Repeat 3X, it's only 15.6%, but it's also only 8.5 ounces, so no big deal.
So all of your guys' tolerance is probably pretty high because you consider you're getting a lot of the high ABV stuff all the time.
I think that if you're in this industry long enough, hopefully you learn how to pace yourself. It's that old rule, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Some people learn, some people don't. If you've ever been to a beer festival, you'll see some people learn, some people don't.
Yep.
That's exactly right. I do often wonder how they can get so drunk on the little glasses that you get at a beer fest, but they manage.
Oh, yeah.
It is that tolerance
slamming
thing,
them down,
Low tolerance.
Yes. 6 of those for some people is a lot.
Yeah, they just aren't used to it, man. It just totally takes them by surprise.
Yeah.
They're thinking beer, sure. Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. They're shooting them. A lot of times you see them shooting. I'm like, oh, it's just a little bit. Yeah. It catches up with them.
Curious, when you opened in 2006, were there any other breweries open in that area at that point? In the Akron area? Do you know?
Yeah, I'm thinking, were there any around 2006? No, but I think that, my predecessor that I had started, I cut my teeth at a local restaurant. They started their brewery about a year later because the restaurants closed. It was Thirsty Dog Brewing Company. They closed those restaurants, and they opened up about a year after I did in Akron also. And, we've supported each other. I look at that like my alma mater. So, just recently they wanted keg caps from us, and we just gave them some. They're good people. Good people.
Yeah.
We love these guys.
I just learned today, and shame on me, but I didn't know what Boris or Taurus or Chorus meant until actually when I was doing research. I go, wait a minute, there's a common theme here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got to hear about it.
I'll tell you where it started. It started with me going to the local brew pub and seeing RIS and asking what that meant. And they said it's a Russian Imperial Stout. So when I started making one at home and I started brewing, I called it Boris because it was a bodacious Russian Imperial Stout.
Oh, bodacious.
So that's where the name came from. But when I started the brewery, the O took on a different meaning because I wanted to also, I guess, incorporate, but also take advantage of the fact that Samuel Smith oatmeal stout was so popular back in 2006, and they used oatmeal. So I wanted to make Boris Bodacious Oatmeal Russian Imperial Stout, and that's what it is today. Mm-hmm. The oatmeal really adds a level of complexity to the beer that just helps so much. So that's where the name came from. And then Doris's double oatmeal Russian Imperial Stout and so on.
And then we've got the Taurus, and we've got the is it Chorus, I guess?
Yeah, the weirdest one was chorus. I remember looking it up. I'm like, well, it is really a word, I guess. I don't have to make that word up. I mean, that word exists, but I've never seen that word. I don't know if we'll make a 5. I don't know what the 5 one will be. I think we might have maxed out. I'm not sure.
I thought we came up with a name. I can't remember it off the top of my head.
I forget.
But yeah, gets more challenging. But yeah.
Yeah.
We have to take better notes when we're drinking. That's the hard part.
Yes. And then know where you put the notes. That's the other part.
I bet some of your company meetings are a lot of fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we'll look at each other. Are you writing this down?
Yeah,
Right.
really.
Right. Who's got this?
Yep.
Who's the scribe today?
Everybody gets in these conversations and you're spewing ideas. And that would be a great idea. And that would be a great idea. Yeah. And it's like the meeting's over. You're like, no, I don't, nobody wrote anything down or we got nothing.
I will say
Mike,
we do a pretty good job of writing stuff down.
Yeah.
We do. Yeah, we've learned.
I think one of the awesome things, though, is, the conversation we're having about the names, because to me, that, especially if you come into the brewery, that also enhances the brewery experience where you're saying, okay, not only am I getting the shandy, I'm getting the shandy that, bores to this and that and everything. And I just think that adds so much more fun and the dynamic to it that you want to stay and you want to have a good time.
Versus just stout.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is our stout beer. This is the beer.
I'll have your porter.
Yes. I know. I always find it interesting when you go somewhere and someone just names the beer the style of the beer. And I'm like, especially when they have other names for other things. I'm like, why didn't you try on this one? But
it's like, this is our tasty lager.
I'll tell you, names aren't as easy as it sounds. I mean, we're all sitting here spewing them off, but it's harder. And again, it goes back to writing them down, because there's sometimes that we've had it where we've said something, been like, oh my gosh, that'd be a great beer name. You better write it down. We don't have a beer for it yet, but we'll come up with something.
We'll work into it.
And then there's other times you got a beer and you're going, golly, what do we call this thing? And we always try to incorporate what you're going to experience when you're drinking it. So that's, like peanut butter, chocolate, coffee, porter. Peanut butter, hazelnut, caramel, chocolate cake, stout. I mean, obviously, it's important to have that, because then people are like, well, by reading that, you should know what you're going to experience. Versus Joe's beer.
Joe's beer. Yeah, right.
That's
how to get into it.
But the funny part is I've been places where people are like, that sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Well, what is it?
What is the mystery? You open the can up and
it's
you find out.
And apparently Joe made it.
Was it, and it might be before all of our times, wasn't it Billy's beer? Was it?
Yeah.
Didn't it just say beer on the can back in the day?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or it didn't say Billy's beer. It might have said
Maybe
Billy's
was it
beer.
Billy's
I forget,
beer?
man.
Oh, that's funny.
That was
Shelley,
Jimmy
you
Carter's
remember?
brother.
In fact, I had a great uncle. He had many years ago. He passed away, and I was at a family reunion a few years ago, and I'd asked one of his grandkids this. I said, "Is it true that when your grandpa, it was my great uncle Howard, when he died, they were going through his house and they found Billy beer in his refrigerator?" And they said, "Yep, that's true." Now I don't know if anybody kept it or not, but
Wow.
It probably wasn't good to start with, and let alone.
I can't imagine.
At least he kept it in the fridge.
Yeah.
There you go.
Billy's beer.
Speaking of fridge, I'm going to visit my fridge again.
Yeah. I love that it's handy. It's just right there.
Right. There's a few beers in there.
Yeah.
Well, stocked up tonight.
So you obviously barrel age a lot of stuff. Is it a barrel aging program per se? Or do you just randomly say, hey, this would be really good in a barrel?
Well, probably a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it depends on what you mean by program. So we have beers that we make all the time, like barrel-aged Boris. Like, that's a staple. We like, there are certain beers that are available that have been barrel-aged. And then sometimes we make a beer and go, you know what? We need to put that in a barrel.
Yeah.
And so we do. Right there.
Yep.
Barrel-aged Frog's Hollow Double Pumpkin Ale. There is a barrel-aged Sextuple. There's a We've done the Pentuple in different barrels. We've done it in red wine barrels. We've done it in Sottle barrels. We've done it in Mezcal barrels. We've done it in a bunch of cool stuff because it lends itself well to that. So I guess we'll do some of that stuff, but then we do have mainstays that we offer all the time.
When did you guys get into the barrel aging of beers? When did that start to catch on at Hoppin Frog?
I think it was 2008. I mean, it was way early.
So
I'm just trying to remember. Hang on. Let me think. The first barrels I got were from Cavalier. I didn't start working with them right away. It was after the Shandy came out. Shandy was developed in 2009. And 2010, the summer of 2010 was the big cutoff. I told my distributor that was around the whole state, except for around the brewery, which I had another distributor. If you don't buy these guys out that are around the brewery, they're going to never be able to be bought out because I'm about ready to release this Shandy. And everyone's been dying for it. It's going to take over my sales. So one thing led to another. It was 2010, and I was able to talk Cavalier into carrying us across the state, and they bought out the smaller distributor that was around us. Where's I going with this? Oh, so yeah. So with the relationship with Cavalier, we were able to hit, I'm pretty sure in 2011 was when we got the first barrels. So I'm pretty sure we started our barrel aging program in 2011. I hadn't really thought about that, but yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Do a lot of times do you just come across barrels and we work backwards into the barrel as far as what was in it before, whether it be wine or whiskey or
early on? That was definitely what happened. There was time we formed some relationships with some different cooperages, and as we were buying barrels, and frankly at the time we were one of the few, it seemed, that were doing that. So when they would get something special, they'd usually reach out and say, hey, would you guys be interested in, so for example, Pappy Van Winkle barrels? And which now everyone knows what Pappy Van Winkle is now. But at the time I'm like, I don't know, sounds cool. I guess I don't know anything about it. So in my ignorance, I'm like, sure. Well, then I asked how much, and they were really a lot more than usual. So I got a hold of Fred, and we did a little research. And we're like, oh, holy smokes, these are actually, we should get these. So I got back to him and said, yes, we'll take them. So that was a story where we got some barrels that we were definitely not seeking for. We were able to secure them one other time. And then after that, needless to say, they've become very hard to come by. But there's been other ones that of similar type things where it's like, oh gosh, that would be great. And frankly, I mean, a lot of them Boris has gone into. Boris is just such a great beer for that. And so we've had lots of different variations of Boris in different barrels. But then as we kind of branched out and said, hey, something else other than Boris in a barrel might be good. Yeah. Now we see a lot more. I mean, we got our pumpkin, we've done Shandy. I mean, heck, we've done Shandy in, bourbon barrels. We've done Shandy in tequila barrels.
God, I love Shandy in bourbon barrels. It reminds me of a whiskey sour. It's so tasty.
Yeah.
But the more popular one, I think, is the tequila barrel one.
The tequila barrel one has been very popular, but everyone's got their thing that they like, right? So, I mean, as with anything, when you run out of it, of course, there's a line of people that said they would have bought more. So, I mean, you're going to have that, but yeah. But the market for that has definitely changed a lot in regards to getting barrels. It's gotten a lot more challenging. A lot more challenging to get those specific barrels and those, what we would say, quote unquote, special barrels. So they're few and far between, but when they come, we snag them for sure.
You guys are at least known to us and probably to the craft beer world that Shandies, like I know you guys from Shandies, barrel aged, and then the high grav barrel aged stuff too. That's kind of how I come to know you guys, and then dive into the other stuff too. But is that kind of what you perceive for in the industry? Kind of the barrel aged stuff, the high ABV stuff, or
I guess it depends on who you're talking to, right?
Yeah.
I mean, at one point in time in the past, I think that was probably true for most people, but we have so many different beers and so many different flavors now that have reached so many different people. I think that people have realized that we can do a lot more than that. We can do that really well. We can do Pilsners really well. We can do Shandies really well. So at the end of the day, yes, we cut our teeth on stouts, barrel-aged, high-gravity beers, always known for quality, but to be honest, a lot of people I talked to today, some of them haven't even tried those beers, but they love our Shandies, or they love our Gangster Frog, or they like the cool flavor combinations like our coconut cream pie or pineapple upside down cake. They flock to those beers, and they might send other people our way that like that stuff, but we get a good mix that come into our tasting room. Hence, like in January, we have a stout day where we blow out huge party stouts like crazy. In the summer, we got Shandy Day, so we've got a huge party blowout with Shandies, exclusive flavors that we make there. So I guess that's the long answer to your question, but I think the expanse or the breadth of our portfolio reaches so many different people that I think we're known for a lot of different things now.
All right, and I want to talk about something, one of your beers. Scott and I have this discussion every once in a while when we're rating beers or we're doing a podcast and we're talking about some of our favorite beers. And a lot of it is you remember where you were when you had a particular beer, right?
Yeah,
So
cool.
you
Yeah.
mentioned the stout. So I remember I had this beer at my house. I think I had somebody send this to me in a beer tray. The Evolutions of Boris the Crusher chocolate covered strawberry, the Russian Imperial Stout, 9.4%. I'm sitting in my house and I'm drinking this and I'm going, oh my God. I mean, you talk about getting this right. Like, you talk about the chocolate covered strawberry, where literally the strawberry is going down and you can taste the chocolate, just like if you were actually doing a strawberry dipped in chocolate. And I'm like, wow, man, I could have this all day, and I'm going, oh my God, that's just awesome,
Thank you.
And again, I think that goes into, we love talking about the brewery experience, whether you go to a brewery or you're just drinking an individual beer and you remember it. And that's one that really stood. I mean, all the ones that I've drank from you guys have stood out for me, but that was one when you were just talking about styles, John, that really stood out for me.
I'm glad it
That's so
did,
cool.
and we really appreciate that.
Yeah.
We painstakingly make sure that if it says strawberry and chocolate on the beer label, you're going to taste strawberry and chocolate. I mean, we painstakingly make that happen because we are. I don't want to speak for Fred and Zachary, but I know in my heart of hearts that we can't stand it when we pick up a beer and it says something on the label and you're searching for it. You're like, wait, what? Wait, where's the?
I guess I
this or
taste
that?
strawberry. You're like, no,
Yeah.
that's not the way you brew.
And that's probably an added note to the conversation we were having earlier about the PB&J beers. I've had a couple of them over the last year or so where I'm going, now I love peanut butter, but I'm going, but I can't taste the peanut butter.
Oh,
All I'm tasting is the jelly. And if it's in a 16-ounce can, I'm like, oh my gosh, man, this is way too much. This would almost be too much on a flight. If all I'm tasting is jelly, it's way too sweet for my
it
palate.
sounds like 16 whole ounces of disappointment.
I got to spend the next half an hour trying to put
Like
this thing
shit.
down.
The first 2 ounces suck. Now I got to drink the rest of the 14.
Zachary, I don't know what you just poured, but it looked fantastic in that glass.
Oh, this is actually one of our head brewers creates Little Smokin' Toad. Whoop, sorry, the camera. Porter.
Look at that.
Oh,
Yummy.
nice.
So it's a 5%, very lightly smoked porter.
Wow. That's amazing.
Delicious.
We can attribute that to our head brewer Lee.
Yep.
That was his idea.
I wish
Fantastic.
I don't have a sniffer thing that everyone gets a chance to. Yeah.
Don't worry, AI will create that here very soon. I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's coming.
It's
We'll
coming.
We'll
It's
have
coming.
these
I'm signing up
4D
for it too.
conversations.
So until then, I'll have to taste it and just tell you how good it is.
What kind of smoky is it apple wood? I'm trying to imagine it. Cherry wood? I forget what they smoke it with.
Be more like I almost wonder if it's more cherry.
Yeah, I think it might have been cherry.
I think it's cherry wood.
smoked. Yep.
Yeah. Oh.
That's Breeze malt for y'all.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that ABV on it too. That's nice.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
That's new for us.
As some of these lower ones came, it was more because I think I mentioned it earlier, but our tasting room and our general manager that had mentioned a couple of times that, hey, it'd be nice if we had something that wasn't 8, 9, 10, 15%, so that when people come, maybe their friend or one of the people driving could at least have a beer. So after a while, it took him a while to convince us. So we're like, yeah, you know what, he's probably right.
We don't want to though.
right. And so, and really, the first one we dabbled on that was that Smashing Honey Blonde. When we made that blonde, Smashing Honey Blonde, which, I mean, really, the plans were just to have it as something on tap in the tap room. And then I don't know if you guys heard about the pandemic back in 2020.
Something about it.
But that caused us to have to do something other than keg all of it, which then we ended up canning it and things along those lines. But then because of that, through distribution, we were able to enter it in the GABF and the World Beer Cup, and World Beer Cup it won the silver medal. And then Fred and I were out in Colorado for the GABF. For whatever reason, decided to sit in the front row. I don't know why we did that. That was kind of silly on our part. But it was destiny, because then the Honey Blonde won a gold, which was just awesome. I mean, just for a beer that we kind of created to make for our tasting room fan. Now it's distributed everywhere, and it's a great beer.
The next morning at the GABF, they send an email out to everyone who's participated, all 40,000 or what do they get, 10,000, 15,000 people a day.
Yeah.
So all these people got this email, and there were like 3 or 4 pictures on it. One of them was Zachary and I with our gold medal.
Ah, nice.
In the front row. It was crazy.
Yeah.
That's outstanding.
Your Smashing Pecan Blonde Ale was the very first Hoppin Frog beer that I ever had. And I can tell you, when I had it, I was hooked. I was like, I gotta have more of Hoppin Frog.
Yeah.
You guys hooked me. And we were saying earlier when we stopped in your tap room mid-May, because we were coming up there, we were going to go to Cleveland, Great Lakes, Masthead, and we had even said along the way, I said, while we're up there, I said, man, we have got to stop at Hoppin Frog. And we came in there for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And, we really wanted to stay longer. We were just on a road trip. But I'm so glad we did. Because for me, it was like, it literally, I don't say this just to be joking around. It was a bucket list brewery for me to go to, having had your beer around here and having known, what the history was of you guys and how much beer I've had already. So, and I think Scott can say the same thing.
100%. And it was, we talked about it in one of the episodes, but it was raining so hard. I mean, we couldn't see the car in front of us. And it was like, if a car stops, we're all dead. It was one of those kind of things.
Right.
But
Oh my God.
But it was a welcome break too. All right, we're going to Hoppin Frog anyway. We're gonna ride this rain out, and we're gonna drink some beer. And it was perfect.
Wow.
Nice.
I want to talk to you guys, because I know you've mentioned it twice now, especially you, Zachary. How much has your business had to evolve and change, or has it had to change that much since 2020? Have there been a lot of changes for you guys in particular since that time?
I was going to touch on the fact that how has our business evolved? John mentioned just in general, but John mentioned the 22-ounce bombers. I mean, that if you had told me, heck, 10, 12 years ago that we would not be in bombers anymore, I would have laughed at you and left the play. But like, no, we're going to be in bombers forever. But that definitely obviously has changed. I think that the pandemic expedited the process by which we made that full transition. It actually gave us the opportunity to get our own canning line during that time frame. So, that's definitely something that changed. Is
that, not to interrupt,
Yeah.
is that where the 8-ounce cans kind of come into play? So you go the opposite direction in a sense?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Fine. We can't do 22s. We're doing 8s. We'll show you those. We'll show you.
Oh my God,
But we got a canning line. We, our tap room was closed for a extensive period of time. Some of that was by choice. I believe the word of the year was pivoted, and we pivoted and had online sales. We operated a drive-through delivery service to folks who made orders online. We were kind of doing everything you could to just kind of help keep things going until we got through it all. Yeah. Our staff, we unfortunately, with our tap room closed, some of our staff, we had to, lay off. And we had a couple people stay on just to help run that drive-through line at night. And if it wasn't for our fans and our followers and the people that have grown to love us, coming through, some, if not daily, weekly, we probably wouldn't all be sitting here today and having this conversation. But
it was great in a way, because we had a lot of beer sales and virtually no cost
right
other than the building.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was a higher profitability, but it was just a weird time.
Yeah.
But we've also heard from other breweries, owners and breweries that, they've pivoted a little bit where maybe they're doing other lighter options now, maybe also some non-alcoholic beer or whatever. Do you guys feel any pressure to do that because you've been around for so long, you're like, we have that reputation. This is what people expect from us.
We are doing all the above. The ones that you mentioned, we have them on tap. So
yeah.
We've even tried seltzers, but those didn't taste that great. But we didn't put a whole lot of effort into it.
I mean, I think it's important to constantly evolve.
Fans to begin with.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Zach.
No, I'm sorry. I was just saying you got to constantly be evolving and adapting to what the market wants, what the customers are looking for. If you think you can just do the same thing every single day and you're not going to change, and you think everyone else is going to change to you, then you probably won't be operating for very long.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
The trick is, and Zachary and I, we deal with pretty much all of our sales, and then I help guide our sales team out in the market. And, at the end of the day, yes, you always have to evolve. But I think that what you need to do and what we're very conscious of doing when we do anything new is always making sure that it has the Hoppin Frog flavor to it. I always tell people, dare to compare. Go ahead and take another oatmeal Russian Imperial Stout around 9%, put it next to ours. And I don't say this in a condescending, mean way. I'm just saying, go ahead and do this. Put them together. And I guarantee you'll taste the Hoppin Frog flavor each and every time. It goes back to what Fred was saying, right? It's about more ingredients. It's about creating this product where you don't want to lose your identity in what you're doing.
Yeah.
Do cool things, but make sure they know it's Hoppin Frog, right? And so we've seen there are breweries that have, chased trends, and then before you know it, they're closed or they've got issues, or and you feel bad, it hurts. You don't want to see anybody go under. You want to see people do well, but you've got to be true to yourself too. And we've also noticed other trends in the market. We've noticed that people might not go out as much as they used to, or they want more of an experience, or they want, like you were saying, lighter beers or different beers. And we're adjusting to all those things, but we're doing it within the parameters of staying unique. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
You're true to yourself.
And we're not going to stop making the stuff that we also are known for making.
You got to make beer you love too. If you're just making beer for other people, in my opinion, I don't know what you're doing. I mean, that's what you want to know why I've been here for 14 years. Another part of it is because I love the beer we make.
Yeah. And you know what? It's obvious that your formula is working. I mean, it really does. And that's really the great thing about it. I'll tell you, you talked about canning earlier, and the thing that really fascinated me when, we were researching and looking on your website and different things is that, well, you can, and what is it? It's accurate on your website, I think. 22 states in 40 foreign countries. Is that right? The canning, the aspect of what you guys do
that we distribute to?
Yeah.
I mean, we have definitely are a global distribution company.
I really want to hear about how that has really taken off, especially globally, and that many countries.
Isn't that crazy? We first got a request, I think it was November of 2007.
Yeah.
Really early on for our beer from Sweden. And I kind of blew them off. Like, no, we can't sell to you guys. But then like the next month, I got another request from Denmark, and it was during Christmas. And I had just read an article less than 6 months before about Denmark being this hotbed of craft beer. And they were behind, the U.S. by 15 or 20 years, but they're just catching on and they're catching up and they're just loving the crap out of it. And this person from Denmark contacted me. We still work with him. He ended up buying beer from us beginning of 2008. And by the end of 2008, the beer that he had bought a bunch of, which was Boris the Crusher, it had 100 out of 100 rating on ratebeer.com. So he said, I wanted, 60 cases of that. And he bought a slew of other beers. But he bought a bunch of Boris, if I can remember. And like once he got it, like 3 months later, we hit a gold medal with that, the GABF. So it's like, oh my gosh, and it's already overseas. So it got widespread distribution. Before you know it, we found ourselves in many states. So now I can say we've sold our beer as far east as Japan. Well, now it's China. And then as far west as Hawaii. We recently sold to Hong Kong, which is technically China. So boom. So we're around the world. Although it doesn't happen every year. I mean, we don't see our beer in these countries every year. We have made sales, around the world in the last 20 years. It's pretty cool.
We've talked to people and we talk about the distribution laws just between states. Right. And I know like this state's better than whatever.
We don't have time to talk about that.
Right. But you guys were like, okay, not only do we do that, hold my beer. We're going to ship it internationally. Here's a whole nother set of problems, I'm sure, in logistical stuff that came up. And
sure. Yeah. I mean,
it's just Zachary.
Is
this your life, Zachary, or is it part of
my life? It's different. It's not. I don't want to say it's easier, but it's different. There's a couple of things that we work out with those other markets ahead of time that help make the process a little bit easier for us. So from that experience, I guess it makes it a little easier. Within the states, that's a whole nother set of challenges that continuously changes. I actually just read today about a state where there's a huge festival every single year, and there's some breweries that go there that don't distribute in the state normally, but go there every year, and it's going to cost them what used to cost them nothing is now going to cost them like $1,000 for that one day. If they want to do that, and
get licensing, special licensing for the festival,
right, and all that kind of stuff. And it's festivals are fun, but festivals aren't profitable for breweries, and so it's going to impact those kind of things. And there's registration, and I get it. You want to have some like guidelines and things in place, so you don't want it to be like the wild west of everyone just throwing whatever out there, and then you got dangerous product or things like that. But the same token, it's still a little archaic.
Is it? And we don't have to go down a rabbit hole, but with the distribution to other states, is ABV kind of the biggest thing? As in, certain states won't allow certain ABVs.
There are some, yes. Yeah. A lot of that has changed. I mean, there's I don't want to say benefit of COVID, but I mean, one of the things, some laws did get relaxed in some states and that seemed to be the one that they kind of relaxed on a little bit, but there are some states out there that still have some limits. A lot of times ABV more impacts taxes than it does whether or not you're allowed to sell there.
Okay. Do you guys have to deal that directly, or can you work with distribution and kind of let them bear some of that weight?
I thought we weren't going down the rabbit hole. No, I'm just kidding.
Which is a little side.
No. I mean, obviously, we're not self-distributing in other states. I mean, as much as I'd like to go personally take beer to Hawaii once a month, that's probably not going to happen. But so we do work through distributors, and then it's within that partnership that you work together to figure out who's going to be responsible for what. A lot of times that's dictated by the state. So, the distributor might have taxes that they have to pay on the product they sell. And then you don't, or you might pay the taxes and then the distributor doesn't, or in some instances we all get to pay taxes and in that aspect too. So it varies. And that's what makes it challenging is there's, 50 states and nobody has the same rules in regards to alcohol. Right.
And so when you are also dealing with other countries and...
Oh, here we go with the distribution thing
again. This is a different question.
Different rabbit hole.
This is a different question. I'm going down a different rabbit hole.
Okay.
No, I think this is a simpler one. When you're making the decision to send your beer to other countries, is it what you decide you're going to send to them? Do they request it? How do you make the decision of what you're going to send to them?
Yeah. I guess that's a joint thing. I mean, we more kind of let them know what we would have available, and then they pick from what we have available.
We
some
don't
are
tell
very
you everything
specific.
available.
Yeah, some are very specific, and they be, hey, we only want X, Y, Z, and so okay, no, we try to be flexible and work with them, but it's more of a if they like it, we have it, we'll find a way to make it happen.
And I think of the neat conversation that if I'm working in your brewery, all three of you guys, if you're just sitting there and all of a sudden somebody comes in from a country like Denmark and said, hey, by the way, I saw your brewery, kind of like us here in Tennessee. I was in Denmark and I saw Hoppin Frog and I wanted to come to America to actually come to your brewery.
That's happened.
I'm going to set you guys up with some stories.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely happened. I've been in the tasting room before when people have come through from other countries that tried our beer, had it in that country, and were planning a trip to the United States and purposefully, decided to come through Akron, Ohio, on their way to wherever they were headed. I mean, it happens
a lot.
It happens a lot. It's
Yep.
And every time it happens, you're just going, wow. I mean, it's just wow.
Part of it is. We used to be rated one of the 100 best breweries of the world year in and year out by ratebeer.com. It was 17 years running. So those who frequented ratebeer.com, which were the beer nerds around the world, they knew of Hoppin Frog. It wasn't just a couple years or 4 years or 6 years. It was 17 years running. So we were like
Fred,
one of the staples.
Yeah. And Fred, I want to really get your perspective on that as the owner, because you go back to 2006, as you said. You're selling beer basically from your car, trying to grow this brewery. And do you ever sit back and go, wow, I've got beer in other countries like Denmark, and people are coming from Denmark to come to my brewery?
I haven't done that lately, but I should. Yeah, I have, of course, but it has been a while. I need to kick back and think about that. That's pretty amazing. I miss going to Denmark. That's what I think about. Love to go over there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a neat thing.
Going over there, brewing with those guys over there is one of the best experiences. I learned tons of stuff from them. But just being there and experiencing their culture was enough. It was just like amazing. But to learn stuff from them was just beyond.
It is cool, though. Just somebody from another part of the world recognizes your brand. And sometimes, hey, we ship some stuff, right? Okay, somebody wants it. But then somebody comes in the tap room and it's a person. It's like, oh, you're real. You're not just a number. You're not just an account. We said you're a real person who actually really does appreciate it.
Yeah, it really is endearing. It makes your whole week when something like that happens.
Not the same thing, but we had a guy reach out the other day who listens to us in Australia, and sometimes we see the numbers on Spotify and it says, "Hey, you got 0.001 listeners in this country, And this guy goes, "I'm in Brisbane, Australia, and I'm driving down the road listening to your podcast." And he sent me a screenshot of his navigation system and our podcast on the thing. I go,
that's awesome!
All right, that's cool. You know what I mean?
That is cool.
It was a real person, and I was like, all right, that's
a real person.
It was a real person.
You're global now. You're global.
We're in Australia too.
I keep making the joke. I keep making the joke on the podcast. We got Australia, but I've made the joke over the past few months. I want to get that Antarctica check-in.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, I tell them the signal hasn't got to Antarctica yet. It's still on the way. It's still on the way.
That's awesome.
Boy, they need beer down there, though, I'll bet.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have any.
God, if you were there, you'd need something.
They have to. Yeah, they're probably whiskey.
Well, you got to warm up from the inside.
Right.
I think that would help. Well, your barrel aged stuff would do that.
For sure.
Yeah, that would do it.
Guys, can we talk about your tap room? Because you guys look like you have an awesome tap room. I mean, we've been in it, but you guys would talk about your events and things. And one, I saw this. You guys just had the Greater Akron Beer Choir in the tap room. What is that?
It was awesome. I was there singing along with them. It was insane.
Solid, yeah.
It was so much fun. It was only a couple hours, and it was let me think. It was a couple. It was a guy and a gal. Looked like they had done it a bunch. Didn't want any money for it. They just wanted to come to the brewery and hand out hymns or hymnals or whatever they are, just booklets with all their songs. And they wanted microphones and they wanted to hook up for their keyboard. So they were a little bit of a show couple. They got there and sung a bunch of beer songs, and we're singing along with them. They're playing keyboards. It was great. It was a big old party, and it was almost like, it was planned, but in a way it felt like it wasn't planned.
Yeah.
It was cool. People really enjoyed it. It was a Friday after work, and people were carrying on. It was pretty cool.
Just singing along. Were there like their songs that they had come up with, like beer songs?
Some were, yes. Some
Okay,
were
yeah.
completely different ones that they had drummed up from other song parts, I imagine.
Yeah.
I think some were also beer songs that I just didn't know. I think that they were out there that they knew about and they had us singing too.
Or maybe they made up.
Yeah, right.
They made up. And like a couple of them, you could tell they took lyrics from a normal song and changed it into a beer song, and that was fun. So in general, they were just 2 hours of fun. It was really cool, man.
Yeah. That's awesome.
They had been offering for about a year or two, and I finally said, "Yeah, you got to come do this." What the hell? Why are we not doing it?
I would go for that totally.
It was so cool. It was big fun.
What other events do you guys do with the tap room? Because on your website you've got a whole bunch of stuff you guys do.
Man, the coolest one's coming up. What is it? August 23rd at Shandy Day. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a
Yeah.
huge one, man. Twice a year we do Shandy Day. It's like Christmas.
You guys do special shandies for that event?
Yeah, we usually have about 16 to 18 shandies on tap. And there's usually every year I tell our head brewer, hey, just a couple is fine. Don't stress yourself out over it. But he usually ends up coming with like 4 or 5 special shandies just for Shandy Day.
Sure.
I have to take those special recipes and register them with the federal government under the formulas and then under the labels. So it's a bit of a jumping through hoops.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
But there's some good creations, and actually that's where our we came with that mango cream pie he had this last time. We actually just made, usually we make them, and I mean, some of them are just not capable of being mass produced, just for a variety of reasons. Usually it's cost, because he spares no expense on the ingredients. He's usually going all out, which is awesome. I mean, it's a way to kind of say thanks to everybody and to give all our Shandy fans something extra special and things along those lines. So, but we did make that mango cream pie smoothie, which was a huge hit, and we actually did make it. And I believe, if I could cue up Fred, I believe you got a can of it. Oh, I thought you had a can of it. Oh, I thought that
he does.
All right, take 2.
Okay, yeah, we'll come back.
Maybe the Jeopardy music coming in here.
There it goes.
Cute.
So that's what our first packaged
Yeah.
smoothie that we
That's
made. So,
awesome. I saw your post about that, Fred, too. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, shit, I wish I could have that.
Yeah.
I guess I'm
Shandy
opening
Day,
this one.
August 23rd. I mean, there's still time. You can, it's a Saturday. You could leave Friday night and be up because you want to be here early because we open at 11 and there's a line.
It's good. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I bet there is.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Boom.
Look at that.
It's like ice cream
Is
in a
that a-
glass.
He's got a Hofbrauhaus glass.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Nothing but the best.
I was in, so I was going to bring this up. I was in Germany in June, and there's a lot of, and I was going to ask you this question, a lot of Radlers on the menu. Is a Shandy and a Radler about the same thing? Is it the same thing?
I think of them in the same vein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're on
just
every menu.
turbo.
Yeah. I swear to God, and I'm not kidding. We were at a restaurant, and there was this kid. He couldn't have been 10 or 12 years old in Germany, and he had a pour, and it looked like a beer.
Oh, it probably was a beer.
Yeah, it probably was. People, it probably was a beer or a Radler or a Shandy because they're like 3.8% or something. So I was like, that kid is drinking a beer.
2 sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's just part of their culture.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
God, that's
But I
tasty.
will say, yeah, Shandy Day's one of the biggest ones. That mango cream pie smoothie, that thing is insane. I will tell you that. And I mean, we do a lot of fun stuff. We have trivia on Wednesdays. We've got every Tuesday we have a beer infusion tower. We take a beer, we add some cool ingredients. People can try it at the bar that day. We try to have something for everyone. Try to have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw that tower Tuesday, and I was like, that looks incredible. What are some of the things that you infuse with?
I mean, they get pretty creative. Sometimes they do different, like, smoked teas. Sometimes they get mint, and sometimes they get chocolate in there. They've done crazy stuff with, like, jalapenos. They've put bacon in there. I mean, it just depends on the beer. They come up with crazy stuff, and it's fun.
That is fun, yeah.
And it's just on Tuesdays, and it's just at the bar. It starts at around 3. People come in, grab some. Yeah. We're open earlier than that, but that's about when the tower comes out, so...
We've got some friends, and maybe you know them. They're Porch Beers USA. It's Keith and Coop. I don't know if you know those guys. They're out of Delaware.
Okay.
I haven't met them, no.
Well, anyway,
I might recognize their faces.
You probably will. They will drive when your blueberry turbo shandy comes out. They go, the minute we know it's available, they will drive 7 hours from Delaware to your place to go get it. He said what they did that one time, and there was like one... I don't know if it was a case or whatever it was left.
Oh my God!
But it's
wait a
so
second.
they love it. So.
Are you talking about the state of Delaware?
Yeah, they're out of
I was thinking Delaware, Ohio for some reason.
Yeah.
I think I know who you're talking about.
You probably do.
Because I remember someone talking about coming from Delaware.
That's them.
Yeah.
They love that shandy so much.
Yeah.
Make sure we hook them up, man.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Porch Beers USA. That's our buddies there.
Yeah.
I always have an extra case, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
You didn't hear that here, though.
No.
Everyone's got to be hitting up Fred. Hey, I hear you have an extra case. Well, I already gave it away to the first person I asked.
You guys should have got here 6.5 hours ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Guys, I know we're running. We're pushing an hour and a half. You guys have lives. We get it. But can we ask a couple more? And we'll.
Sure.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Hell.
Yeah.
I had something queued up. Shit, I lost it.
Yeah, I just opened myself up a mango cream pie smoothie. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I could step in for you, Scott.
Yeah, go ahead. I got it lined up. Yeah, go ahead. I got you.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, what do you guys, if anything, do you have any expansion plans in the future? I mean, you're at that location in Akron. Is there any plans for expansion there, anywhere else? Anything that you can talk about on the podcast? Any breaking news that you want to tell us?
Exclusive?
Nothing solidified, but we sure would like to. I mean, I don't know how much we want to.
Right. I mean, I guess it's always.
Elaborate.
I mean, that's always something to worth considering to look at. But there's so many factors that fall into there. If it's the right place at the right time, then it makes sense. I don't think we would say no. But I mean, that's kind of where we're at. I mean, our brewery itself is, where it's at is expanded about as much as it can expand.
Yeah.
So I could say I don't think there'll be any expansion plans there. But if other opportunities in the area were to present themselves, we definitely would consider them for sure.
But am I right though at that location? Sorry, Scott. Am I right at that location where you have your brewery? You also do the brewing there, and you do the packaging and shipping there at the same location.
Yes, we have one location, one address, one location. So we have our brewery, and then the canning area is attached to the next unit from there, and the next unit's kind of like our storage, and we have a warehouse cooler, and then the next one's the tap room that you guys all had a chance to kind of hang out in and enjoy. And then the next room from there is our, a little more extra seated where our barrel room is. And then some storage space in the back and that. And then we utilize some other units for storage. But we're all in that central spot, which is nice because everything is like right there. Yeah. So that's like one of the things you got to consider if you're like, oh, let's open up another spot. Mm-hmm. Then it's like, well, we got to go back and forth all the time. So, I mean, there's so many things that keep in mind. But
you got to make enough beer for the other place and stuff.
Right.
And,
Yeah, I mean, right. It's it sounds fun. But the actual implementation and operation and that can be challenging. And at the same time, we don't want to lose what we've got by being, overly focused on something else or distracted or, when you stretch yourself too thin, that's where we've seen some of our brethren have some challenges. And so you got to be mindful of that.
I liked the character of the whole outline when we went in there. I mean, the character of all of it, I thought was just cool. And the frogs out and the front and all of it. And as you were talking about we were talking about the expansion into other countries earlier. Has that meant more expansion inside your shipping areas and stuff like that too over the years? Has that changed at all?
I mean, I guess a little bit. I mean, the biggest thing I think from expansion point has been just adding additional fermenters. Yeah. So just so we can have more tank space and have more beer being in process at the same time. And that, that first expansion is really how John, myself, Lee, 15 years ago when Fred started getting some additional tanks, that's when it was like, okay, he needed some additional help. And that's kind of where we came aboard. And then probably 5 years or so after that, we added the last round of tanks that we put in. Just to kind of help make sure that we have the capacity we need to continue to grow into the future. And we're not maxed yet. So, I mean, we have opportunities of growth, and, we operate one shift with, we have 3 brewers, one shift. There's ways that you can expand without having to add on more stuff if you really wanted to. But, we're looking more just to continue to put out a great product and kind of naturally grow, not do anything like so crazy, especially in this climate, right? I mean, the craft brew industry has, changed and evolved, and, having this massive, huge brewery doesn't necessarily make sense these days.
And
sure.
Having those additional... Oh, go ahead, John. No, please.
Well, I was going to say, when your growth is more organic and not debt heavy, you get the chance to, as we were talking about earlier, produce some of the beers you want to make too, along with the market trends. You're not just beholden to, we have to pump out beer whether it's great or not, and we got to get sales. Everyone needs sales, don't get me wrong, but you have more control over what your brand's going to be, rather than, holy crap, hang on to my seat, let's get it all out there.
Yeah.
So there is something to be said about that as well.
Yeah, you're kind of dictating what you're doing, in a sense, what you can produce and what you want to produce, in a sense, because having those additional fermenters in the canning line has got to be helpful, right? Because, and I know this, you can store stuff in the in the fermenters if you need to, or if you need that fermenter, you just go ahead and can it when it's ready, right? And so you can free up that stuff too. So it's part of what you're talking about.
The biggest benefit or the biggest addition that we added was when we added the canning line. It took, it made that transition to all cans and not 22-ounce bottles. So to put in perspective, what took us essentially 7 days, like a full week, 6-7 days to bottle at that time, we can now can in a day. So, I mean, when you look at that, just being able to empty the tanks, that was the biggest hang up for us was, well, our tanks are full. We can't put any more beer in, and our tanks are full because we can't package it fast enough. Right. Well, you got rid of that pinch point in the whole process and opened it up, and so now it allows us to have more flexibility.
Sure.
And having our own canning line versus we did start out with a mobile canning company, which was great because it was a great way to go, okay, is this going to actually work and make sense before we invested something. But that was still challenging too, because you had to coordinate with them and what day of the week it worked with them to be able to come. I mean, there's so much where now it's like we control the whole part of the process. And so not only are we ensuring that every step of the process is under our domain for quality and care, but then we can also, if we need to only put out 10 barrels, we can do a small batch or small run if that's what we need to do.
Sure.
Or we can do a large run. We kind of dictate all that. So.
Hey, and I do want to add something about your cans and can art. And we've talked about can art with other breweries. The one thing, and probably because of the frog, but Hoppin Frog certainly stands out too on the can. But I love it how easy it is to spot your cans when you go into a place. And I think that is so important, because you can go into a place and you're going, okay, wait a minute. Where am I? I can't find this beer. And Hoppin Frog,
thank you,
right in front of me.
Yep.
I've hoped for that for a long time. That's what I was trying to do. I mean, I got into this really early on, and that's one of the focuses that I've had is I want to be recognized on the shelf within a quarter second. Yep. You're looking at 1,000 or 600 beers. I want you to say, oh, wait, I want your eye to just automatically stop. I've seen that before. What is that? That's something of interest. So thank you. That's what I was hoping. That's why we haven't changed the logo. And there was pressure to change the logo, from internal pressure, because you get so used to seeing the frog face. It's like, let's update this shit. So we finally did it. We did all the work. And then I had a I'll just describe this person as a very senior marketing person. Ask me, why in the world would you be doing that? Is there something wrong with your brand? Like, well, no. Yeah. We just want to update it. And they described that to be a common feeling with businesses. It's just the way things are. But you got to look at your brand, and if there's a problem with it, then you need to change the logo. But if not, then you should continue to use it. So that's nice to hear that you still recognize our stuff after nearly 20 years being on the shelf.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is a great comparison, but it would almost be like McDonald's saying, "Let's just change our arch." Well, why the heck would you want to do that? It's been the same things for decades. So
yeah, because everyone's fighting for business, whether it be McDonald's or us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, to your point, I knew in the liquor store where these were. But they have and these were on the warm shelf, right? They were on the other side. They weren't in the cooler, but they had some in the cooler. And I know I can go to the cooler where they have singles and scan up and down really quickly to find yours. It's very easy. Like, I know they got some over here. Boom, got it.
It's awesome. Nice to hear.
Thanks.
Yep.
Yeah, that
absolutely.
It helps a lot because a lot of times we move forward with these ideas that I have, and a lot of them are antiquated. So I need to at least being able to figure out whether they're actually still working or not. Because a lot of my ideas I recognize are old school, and they need to be updated.
Yeah.
Fred, I'd like to ask you this, and because we asked these guys early on kind of about their work environment stuff. How important, it's kind of a rhetorical question, but how important is your team to you and for what they do in the brewery and to the success of the brewery?
How could I possibly, answer that any differently? My gosh, they're essential. You can't do what we're doing without them. They are the business. I could go away and things would still keep going. So, yeah, they're essential. Can't do it without them. Yeah, how can you put it any other way?
Right.
Yeah.
And the longevity you guys have had, 19 years, coming up on 19 years, is a testament to all of you guys. And your whole team.
Well, I was going to say, there's many that are not on, have the opportunity to be on the screen, if you will, and talk about this, but it's a team effort. It truly is. There's ideas and things that come up, but it's everyone working together to make sure that the goal is met and the vision is exceeded, and everyone, takes great satisfaction and pride, and hearing when people say, "Oh my gosh, I love your beer," or I had so much fun in the tasting room last night. So-and-so was great, or, whatever the case may be. It means a lot to everyone, and they come to work every day, with great pride and things along those ends. And we couldn't, it's definitely a team effort for sure.
Well, hopefully when this podcast comes out, they can listen to it and hear that they're being recognized, because really it's one of our goals when we started this podcast to champion breweries, to talk about what you guys do and the great work that you're doing, and, our experiences and our adventures as well. So we certainly appreciate it.
That's awesome. Thanks.
Yeah,
that's great. That's
totally
a great
big fans of you guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I know we're winding down. Is there anything we didn't cover, or anything you guys want to talk about or plug, or anything coming up, or maybe, like Steve said earlier, maybe some, some inside information about something coming down the road, or that, some exclusives?
Oh gosh, you put us on the spot there.
And the answer could be no.
I just want to make sure we don't all give away a different secret.
Oh yeah.
No. No, hey, I just want to say thanks for having us. If it wasn't obvious, this is my first podcast I've been part of, so this has been this has been fun. And I wasn't sure what to expect, but I really appreciate you guys taking the opportunity, or taking the time, I should say, to give us the opportunity to just kind of share a little bit about us. And thanks for coming to our tasting room. Hopefully we'll see you again. Shandy Day, August 23rd. There you go, a little plug. Or if you're interested, we have a clam bake that'll be at the end of September. So, but yeah, so just thanks, and thank everyone who's tried our beer. And if you haven't, please give us a try and let your taste buds be the judge.
That's 100%.
Well
put.
Yeah,
yes.
drink the beer you love. And I can't say that to people enough. And I appreciate what you guys are doing by kind of humanizing the industry in a way, and So to get people to see the people behind the things they love, you know what I mean? To make that human connection, and they'll go back and go, yeah, that is amazing beer. And I appreciate what those guys are doing. And we appreciate our fans more than you know. I mean, our sales guys in the field all the time, we are known as the brewery that is the easiest to work with. We will bend over backwards for our vendors, our distributors, for people out there really trying to spread the love, because we believe in this product. I mean, this stuff, what we do, like Fred said earlier, I mean, we're selling happiness, and we want people to be happy.
There you go.
So thank you guys for what you're doing.
Well, thank you for that, and it's really an honor for all three of you guys to even want to come on. It's a big deal to us too. So we really appreciate you guys being with us.
Yeah, no problem.
Gosh,
look,
totally
we're just a couple of beer drinkers. We're nobody. I'm telling you, we're not professional. We just drink beer, and we travel around, and we go to places, and we just like to talk about it.
But you know what? You're our fans, and that means a lot.
That's it.
So thanks.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you for that. You know, that's
funny.
that's
We don't
important.
think of ourselves as much different. I mean, we're just
Right.
beer drinkers too, man.
Yeah.
There you go.
We
There you
just
go.
sometimes get to drink the beer first. I mean, that's really the biggest difference, right? And we're only doing that to make sure that it's the absolute best by the time you get the chance to try it.
Right, right.
Quality
we have a
control.
responsibility.
Right. You have to have You can't put any crappy stuff out there. You got to have that quality control.
no,
Exactly.
When it gets to the
Tough
masses,
job, but someone's got to do it.
It is. It is.
It's
We don't
true.
drink all day, but we do drink.
Yeah.
just part of the job description.
Guys, I'm going to raise my beer to you all. And thank you for a great night.
Cheers.
Thank you for a great brewery experience when we came to Hoppin Frog, and so many more to come. And thanks for being on our podcast tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Cheers.
We're even bigger
Cheers.
fans now.
Hoppin Frog Brewery on the Brewery Underground podcast. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers to great beers.
Cheers.
Awesome. Thanks,
Awesome.
guys.